The tortoises here are really big, like really big.
I got the hair for it.
So we made it to the Galapagos, and you may not know this, but there's actually towns on the Galapagos, like pretty much cities. I think there must be about 30,000 people spread out amongst the Galapagos. And we're staying here in Santa Cruz, in the largest city of the Galapagos, for a few days before our cruise and after our cruise. And if you wanted to not do a cruise, you could actually do it all land-based, take ferries to other islands if you wanted to. So right now we're exploring one of the things you could do if you just wanted to stay on land. We're hiking out to Tortuga Bay, where you should see a lot of the wildlife that make Galapagos famous, and maybe do a little bit of swimming. Super well maintained. It's about 30 minutes down to the beach.
This is the tree trunk of a cactus. How is this a cactus?
Yeah, I think this is certainly a destination. I think even if you're not going to do a cruise, at some point you need to hire a specialist to explain it. Otherwise you have no context.
So that's these weird tree cactuses.
A puntia. It's our first glimpse of the water. This reminds me a lot of hiking through Airolo, but this is way easier and way shorter and way different scenery. The closer you get, the more sand covered this trail becomes. Whoa, so powdery. I was not expecting that. How crazy does that look? I hope this all comes through for you. How like utterly otherworldly this looks.
This feels like a beautiful beach on a different planet.
And the most powdery sand you've ever felt in your entire life. It's like literal velvet on my feet. Oh my god, so nice!
Wow, the current is like really strong.
Yeah, this is the no swimming section, but there is a little alcove where maybe we can swim.
It's beautiful.
Whoa!
Ah, my sandals! Came out of nowhere and just soaked my sandals. Damn it. Well, it's a good thing the sand is off because looks like I'm gonna have to walk in it barefoot for a while.
I feel like the most colorful animal here so far is actually the crabs. They're like bright red crabs and they stand out so, excuse me, bless you. They stand out so much against the really black rock. Natural paradise over here.
We got the birds, iguanas.
I like how they like kind of cuddle while they sleep.
Yeah.
If you've watched our other videos, then you've probably seen more marine iguanas than you've ever wanted to. And if you haven't, please go check them out. But the short version is that these marine iguanas are unique to the Galapagos and are the only ocean-going lizard in the world.
Or shark.
No, I think it's a sea lion.
There it is.
Oh, see two of them right there.
Amazing. My pants are fully soaked now.
And this is the side that you're allowed to swim in, quite obviously. Completely different, isn't it?
A lot calmer.
Yeah, well, it's part of like an inlet. And after we wrapped up our time at Tortuga Bay, we head across town to the Charles Darwin Research Center, one of the top places to visit on Santa Cruz. So we're here at the Charles Darwin Research Center, and these are certainly giant tortoises. Apparently they can go up to 4 miles per day, which seems outrageous considering how much we've seen them move. They weigh about 400 pounds, but our guide was saying that in the wild they can actually weigh 20% more than what we're seeing here. I really hope the scale is coming through on here because that thing is massive. It's massive. You can also notice the different shells that have evolved to help them reach different plant life depending on where they grow up and what they need to do. And sadly, as you can see here, a lot of these, all the red ones are extinct. So there have been several tortoise species that are no longer with us. The most famous of which is Lonesome George. When Lonesome George died in 2012, it made international headlines. He was originally found on Pinta, an island whose vegetation had been destroyed by the impact of humans. It was eventually determined that the Pinta tortoises had been reduced to a single individual, Lonesome George. He died at over 100 years old and remains a symbol of the impact humans have on the environment and the importance of conservation. So a huge part of what they do here as well is it's a breeding center. So when they find these species that are endangered, they come and they help them kind of procreate and make sure that they're protected and that the species can continue on so that things like what happened to Lonesome George don't happen again. We travel to the Santa Cruz Highlands, about 45 minutes inland, to a nature reserve where we can see giant tortoises in their natural habitat. So we're here at a tortoise reserve, a giant tortoise reserve if you can't tell. It's actually privately owned land, but because this land was owned before the invention of the national park over here, it's private, but it's a tortoise paradise. They just roam here. There's tons of them. You just keep looking and you're like, is that a boulder? No, it's a tortoise.
They're allowed to go wherever they want.
Yeah, they go wherever they want. They eat whatever they want.
They can leave even, I think.
Yeah, they're not trapped here. There's no fences. But why would you leave? Try not to scare them. You have to go really slow.
Yeah, they can't really hear, but they can feel your footsteps. Ew.
They do remind me of dinosaurs.
Remind me of animatronics.
Yeah. And while the giant tortoise is the symbol of the Galapagos National Park on land, there is an iconic marine species that we couldn't go home without seeing. The Hammerhead Shark. The islands of Darwin and Wolf are the best places to find them, but that involves a multi-day journey on a liveaboard. Luckily, there are several scuba sites that can be accomplished as a day trip from Santa Cruz, where you can hope to spot a school of hammerhead sharks. The water was quite choppy on the day we went, so the visibility was suboptimal, but what can you do? We were still thrilled to see a group of manta rays and a group of hammerheads, even if they weren't in full HD. And thankfully, we were also able to spot them on a snorkeling trip we had while on our 8-day cruise off the coast of Genovese Island. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
I got the hair for it.
Yeah.